Hello, friends, and welcome into today's Cowboys Report, made possible by our friends over at Manscaped. You can save 20% off and get free shipping with promo code COWBOYS at manscaped.com. Now, we got some rumors, but first, a couple news items around some roster moves for the Dallas Cowboys. Jon'Vea Johnson and cornerback Saivion Smith have both been activated from that COVID-19 list. They are now negative. They're cleared. They are able to return to the team. However, they were not counting against the Cowboys' roster limit, which means they had to make a move. That was wide receiver Kendrick Rogers. He has been released by the Dallas Cowboys. RIP the Rogers hype train 2020 to 2020. So this is where things stand right now on that wide receiver depth chart. Cedric Wilson, Ventel Bryant, Noah Brown, Johnson, and maybe Tevin Jones and Aaron Parker too, all competing for A, roster spots, and B, some practice squad spots as well. So Rodgers cut. Maybe he could come back if another player has to go on that COVID list, but not looking promising for his NFL career. All right, some rumors. First up, do the Cowboys have a top 5 roster in the NFL? I'll give this 3 stars. I really wanted to give it 4, but I do have some hesitations with this list from ESPN that came out. They ranked all the NFL rosters. They put the Cowboys actually a lot higher than what I thought they were going to. They put them at 2nd overall, despite the defense having question marks. And my biggest problem with this process, special teams, which should matter, wasn't included whatsoever. The Cowboys had one of the worst special teams units in the NFL last year. Now, coaching has been a problem for the Cowboys. I think we can all agree this has been a team that underachieved under Jason Garrett. And then I looked at the rosters, the full top 10, and I go, okay, the Saints at number 1, okay. Bucks at 3, interesting. Pittsburgh at 4, I actually don't mind, because if Big Ben could have stayed healthy, they might have been a top 5 team last year. The Ravens at 5, the Chiefs at 6. The Chiefs and the ESPN said they valued the quarterback spot more. Chiefs at 6, the Niners at 8. The Seahawks at 9, Eagles at 10, Colts at 7. It's an interesting list. Now, look, I think this is going to be a playoff team. I don't think the Cowboys have the 2nd best roster in the NFL. I think they're definitely top 10 and around that 5 range. That's why I gave it 3 stars. If you guys are on the same page as me and you think this Cowboys team is going to make the playoffs, I want you guys to like this video. Go do it right now. I want to see well over 1,000 likes from you guys. Let's move to the offense here. Is Zeke going to get fed this year? Yes, he will. Now, I don't think it's going to be the same serving style or portion that we might have seen in his first year, but as Mike McCarthy said in his meeting with the media this past week, he's going to get the ball. You have a top-end offensive weapon. You're going to find a way to get him the football. And I get the Cowboys' passing attack can and probably should be a little bit more featured than it has been in recent years. And I get McCarthy's history is to sling the football, but you're still going to make Zeke a focal point. I would still expect 300 carries for Elliott, or maybe just a little bit under 300 carries. I don't think he's going to get that 2016 production. I'm not convinced that's the same volume that Elliott gets, but I think he gets around 300. I'm not sure he leads the NFL in rushing like he has in the past, twice actually, but I think Zeke will be involved. As I've said before, I want to make him your closer. Closers are still very valuable. I want him to ice games for the Cowboys, feature that passing attack early, then let Zeke feast late in games. So I'm going to make this the pinned comment. Very important, by the way, before I even say it. Go to the pinned comment to cast your votes. Don't just type in Y or N anywhere. Do it at the pinned comment. Do you think Zeke will lead the NFL in rushing? Y for yes, N for no. If you get the ad break here on YouTube, now's the perfect time to go do that. A couple of notes coming out of McCarthy's interview with media. Chidobe Awuzie playing safety. 2 stars on this one. Maybe a little bit. I almost gave it 1 star because I still think Awuzie plays corner. But McCarthy has mentioned before, the Cowboys have, about having some positional flexibility at corner and safety. The problem is that you didn't have the normal offseason, so the potential for cross-training was limited. Not only that, Awuzie is still your best corner on your roster. And McCarthy's comments of when kind of asked about Awuzie's safety, he went general. He didn't go specific. He kept it a little bit more vague on that end. But I think his comments make sense. Here's what he had to say, and I kind of condensed it down for you guys. We definitely want flexibility back there. It's so important that you have to have at least two things you do. If our corners have safety ability and vice versa, if they can play inside or outside, we all understand it's a sub-defense and sub-offense game, meaning sub-packages. I mean, you're not going in your typical base, quote-unquote, offense and defense anymore. We cannot have enough perimeter players. And I still think that's who's in. He got beat too much, okay? He did. He didn't play as well as we want and need him to, or at least the Cowboys do. But you look at the rest of the cornerbacks on this roster, and I think at least for 2020, kind of want Awuzie out there. You're optimistic Trevon Diggs can get that number 2 corner role locked up. Then you got Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis. I'm trying to get my 5 best defensive backs on the field in this nickel package, which I think is really what McCarthy's saying when he wants positional flex. I think Xavier Woods, Clinton Dix, and Awuzie are truly 3 of those 5 guys. That means I'm probably going to keep Awuzie at corner. So let me know what you guys think. Where should he play? S for safety or C for cornerback? Now, as mentioned CB for corner, excuse me. As mentioned, today's show is brought to you by Manscaped. You can get the Weed Whacker, the best nose and ear hair trimmer. I bought one from producer Dylan because I was tired of staring behind the camera looking at all that grossness. You can get one for your dad or for your grandpa, whoever just has a little bit of excess hair that you don't want to deal with. Head over to manscaped.com. Use promo code Cowboys. That will save you 20% off on the Weed Whacker. It's the best ear and nose hair trimmer out there. Go check it out today. That link will be in the comments, and it will be in the description. Let's talk trade rumors now. Marcus Maye couldn't get the one Jet safety, so go for the other one, right? Probably not. 1 star on this one. My initial mindset was, look, the Jets have Maye, they got Adams. They'll probably pick one and keep that one. And they traded away Jamal Adams for a pretty good haul, a haul the Cowboys were not going to make. You could still try to get Marcus Maye. There are some problems with this, though. Yes, he's a solid player. I would not mind adding him. He's a pretty solid safety, but that's the problem, right? You have 2, I think, pretty solid safeties already. Xavier Woods, Clinton Dix. Now, maybe Maye's a little bit better than one or both of them, but is he significantly enough better that you would give up draft pick assets to go get him right now? And in theory, extend him because he's also in the last year of his deal. I'm not really sure that's the case. Yes, the Jets have Ashton Davis. Yes, they have Bradley McDougald, also on a 1-year deal. I don't think the timing is quite right now. I wouldn't mind exploring a trade for a safety, but you missed out on Minka and Jamal Adams, and those are 2 of the arguably 5 best young safeties, if not top 3 young safeties in the NFL. So should the Cowboys make a trade for safety, or do you just want to roll with what Woods and Clinton Dix can bring to you if healthy for this year? Type 1 for yes, 0 for no. With Adams off the board, I am right now in the no category. I'm going to type in my 0 in the comments section. A new agent for Dak Prescott. It is possible. 2 stars on this one. But nothing is done. Nothing is official. Maybe you saw the other YouTube video. No, the Dak has not fired Todd France. Here's what happened, all right? Todd France and CAA, quote-unquote, mutually agreed, which means somebody didn't mutually agree because it never, ever happens that way. But they have parted ways. So Dak now has a decision. He can either stick with Todd France or stick with CAA. This might sound a little bit familiar because it is exactly what happened with Amari Cooper last year when his agent parted ways with his agency. Cooper, in the end, stuck with his agent. Dak might do the same thing. Now, I will make note that 3 Todd France clients, Dak Prescott, Justin Simmons, and Bud Dupree, are all playing on the franchise tag this year. There might have been some disagreements between CAA and Todd France in terms of what the best path was there. And there's certainly plenty of blame to go around with how the Cowboys and France and Dak and Stephen Jones and everyone involved handled the contract negotiation. So who do you want to blame more? Do you want to blame Todd France for the lack of a Dak deal? Type in TF. You want to blame Stephen Jones? Type in SJ. Of course, both get some blame there, but who do you blame more? Manscaped has also put out their new Shears 2.0, the best little men's grooming multi-tool kit out there. The nail trimmers are essential. I love the design of them. They extend back if you're like me. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky when you've got one of those old pair of nail trimmers. They extend so you can actually use your full hand to create leverage. It's really practical. Check them out at manscaped.com/chat. The promo code Cowboys, by the way, it'll still save you 20% off and get you free shipping. Over now to the tight end discussion. Is this a bottom 5 tight end group for the Cowboys? No, it's not. The Blake Jarwin disrespect season continues. Fake news on this one. I don't like it. I get it. People don't want to pay attention to what's going on with Blake Jarwin. That's fine. The disrespect is real for him. Look, depth absolutely is a concern. That is fair. I understand that. But to put them in the bottom 5 as ESPN did, are we just not paying attention to not only to the Cowboys, but to the rest of the tight end unit in the NFL? Here are the bottom 5, right? Washington, totally agree. Patriots, Cardinals, that's fair. The Cowboys at 29, no. The Bengals were 28. I don't really know why. We'll break down some other teams here in a second. My first thought was, okay, it's the depth. They don't like the depth, and that's understandable. Dalton Schultz, Blake Bell, gross. That is bad depth. But you got Blake Jarwin, so maybe they were trying to make it a little more of an even cut. But then I looked at some of their other rankings. The Packers are at 27 with no one really of note. Carolina has Ian Thomas. Sure, Blake Jarwin has proven he's better than Ian Thomas. So there's no reason to put the Panthers above the Cowboys. The Jags are at 23 with the broken down body of a corpse in Tyler Eifert, and then Josh Oliver's never played. And then it's clearly not just a depth thing, because Seattle, they don't have maybe a top 10 guy. They got 3 starting caliber tight ends, and they're 17. So I don't get the list. I don't understand it. Blake Jarwin and the Cowboys tight end unit, look, if Jarwin goes down, oh yeah, they're a bottom 5 unit. They're right there with Washington near the bottom of the NFL. But if you're weighting it towards the starter, what Blake Jarwin did last year should encourage you. It should make you feel confident in that position. Now, do you have to put them top 5? No, of course not. Maybe they should be bottom 10 or bottom 15. Okay, I can at least understand that. Bottom 5? That's just straight up disrespect. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.